these are the constructions for assignment 18. For number 1, draw a line and a point not on the line. Construct a line parallel to the first line through the point using the corresponding angles technique. So for number 1, I'm going to draw a line and a point not on the line. Now in order to be the corresponding angles technique, I need to have a transversal and then duplicate corresponding angles. So I'm going to draw a transversal that goes through the point that is not on the line as well as my line. Now I'm going to duplicate this angle to its corresponding position up here where the vertex is at the point. So I'm going to put my compass point on the point of intersection, draw an arc across the angle, and duplicate that onto the vertex point above. Then I'm going to measure across the angle at the arc, turn the compass around, and now I just need to connect my point to the point of intersection, and we have parallel lines. So that is using the corresponding angles technique. For number 2, we're going to do the same thing, okay, but it says using perpendicular technique. So the only thing that's different is we're still going to do corresponding angles, but now each angle is going to be 90 degrees, which is perpendicular, rather than these acute angles that I did here. So I'm going to draw a line, a point not on the line. Now to create a perpendicular, I'm going to put my compass point on the point and draw an arc that intersects the line twice. So I've created 2 end points of a segment on the line that are equidistant from the point. And I'm going to do the perpendicular bisector. Alright, so here I have a perpendicular, and now I want to create another perpendicular through this point on the second line. So to do so, I want it to be the midpoint of a segment, so we're going to go the same distance above and below, and then I'm going to do the perpendicular bisector of the segment that I just sectioned off. Skipped a little. Line it up, and we have a parallel line. All right. For number 3, given the segment below, construct a square with the perimeter the length of PQ. So for number 3, I'm going to draw a segment and I want it to be the length of PQ. So we're going to take assignment number 18, open the compass, the length of PQ, and transfer that onto my segment. Okay, so this is the length PQ. Now if I want the square to have the perimeter of PQ, I know that all 4 sides of the square have to have the same length. So I want to divide this segment into fourths. So to cut PQ into fourths, I'm going to first cut in half by constructing the perpendicular bisector. and then I'm going to cut each half in half to create fourths. Okay, so I know that each side of the square has to be a fourth of PQ, and I also know that the four corners of a square have to be right angles. Now, when I've constructed the perpendicular bisector, I construct 90-degree angles, and I know that this section right here is going to be the length of one of the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct my square right here so that I not only show equal length, but I also show my 90-degree angles, which is just as important when we're looking at a square. So here's the length of the side of the square, and I'm going to duplicate that length down, duplicate that length down, and then I'm going to connect. So right here is my square. All right. For number 4, we want to construct a trapezoid, TRAP, with TR parallel to AP, and we're provided angle T. So here's all of the parts of the trapezoid. We have TR is parallel to AP, and we're going to use this angle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a segment, and I'm going to transfer TR onto the segment, and then I'm going to copy angle T onto the end point where we see T. So remember that all points have to match up. So this T has to match up with this T here. So for number 4, start a new piece of paper. All right, for number 4, we're going to go ahead and start with a segment. And I'm going to take the length of TR. And I'm going to transfer that onto my segment. All right, so here is T, here is R. And next I'm going to copy angle T at point T. So to copy angle T, I need to draw an arc across, keeping the compass setting the same. I'm going to draw it across my duplicate, measure across angle T, and transfer that onto my duplicate. And then I'm going to connect the vertex T to the intersection. There we have angle T. And next I want to create a trapezoid where the other side is AP, and I want AP to be parallel to TR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this corresponding angles method where I want to duplicate angle T. So I'm going to give myself a vertex point, and I'm going to measure the original arc across the angle. I'm going to duplicate that onto my point. I need to extend the transversal a little bit more. All right, now I need to measure across angle T. And I'm going to duplicate that in my corresponding angle. I'm going to line up my vertex with the point of intersection. So now I'm creating the side that is parallel to TR. And I want to name it TRAP, so I need to go around. So we've got TRAP. So I need to figure out what is the length of AP. transfer that on. So this is where point A is going to go, and here's point P. So last thing is to connect A and R. So by definition, a trapezoid is a quadrilateral, which is a four-sided figure, 1, 2, 3, 4, where one set of opposite sides are parallel. So here we have one set of opposite sides parallel. These sides are not parallel. So that's number 4. Number 5, we want to construct a rhombus where all sides are equal to TR. So here's TR, and angle R for this letter right here is going to be equal to angle T. So we'll go ahead and start with a segment. This is number 5. And we're going to measure the length of TR. Okay, and our rhombus is RHOM. So we'll start off with this as R and this as H. Now a rhombus is a four-sided figure, so a quadrilateral, where all four sides are congruent, okay? But unlike a square, they do not have to be 90-degree angles. So here at angle R, we want it to be the same as angle T. So we're going to go ahead and copy angle T onto R, grabbing that first arc, transferring it over, and then measuring across the angle and transferring that onto the arc. And so here's the angle R, which is the same as angle T. Now all I'm going to do is make sure that it is the same length as RH. So here is where the next vertex goes. And then for a rhombus, the other two sides, we want it to be the same length. Oh, you can't see, sorry. We want it to be the same length as RH. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my compass setting the same, put my compass point on H, draw an arc. It's got to be somewhere over here. Turn the compass point to the other vertex, draw the same arc. So at that point of intersection is where the fourth vertex is going to be. And when we name it, we always want to name it in order, so RHOM. So we have four sides that are equal in length, right? And R is the same as angle T. All right, that does it for the constructions for assignment number 18.